Y vamos a empezar. Y bienvenido. Sí, aquí viene Kathleen. Muy bien. Bueno, y buenas noches. Buenas noches. Sí, está oscuro. It's dark. Buenas noches, muy buenas noches a todos aquí. Es miércoles, es la hora de clase y vamos a empezar muy pronto. We're going to start really, really soon here. The things I hope to get to. There is a video that actually I'm going to leave for you as homework because I think it's best on, it doesn't really, no se trata de practicar de manera activa. It doesn't really not talk about an active practicing technique, but I am going to push it on out to you, this particular video. It's tips on adult language learning. Adult language learning and negative feelings, and why not to get too hard on yourself? Why not to be beating yourself? Don't do the self-flagellation over I got it wrong. No vale la pena. It is not worth it doing that. Why it is not worth it to do that. How to approach it, so it's going to be a video more on your mental set and dealing with adversity and dealing with making mistakes as an adult. So I highly will recommend it. I will send it along in the email. Pero después, after that, we're going to pick up on quedar. So what you should have ready, I'm going to show you the little items because there's going to be one thing you probably want to have either printed out or pulling up the screen for it. So we're going to share screen on that. Momentito, ¿dónde está? Make sure you have a copy of these prompts from last week. 6 hasta 10, 6 through 10. The ones we didn't get to last week, we're going to start off with those early on. You'll have a couple of minutes to pull it up because we will have a very short video before this, but make sure you've got that either if you printed it out, go check it out, pull it up to a comfy place close to you, or pull up the second screen if you're handy and comfortable with doing 2 screens. So make sure you've got that. And a prompt of some kind, your clothing item, because número 10, number 10 is actually what we're going to start with that. So if you need a couple of minutes, and it literally will only be 2 minutes, to go run and get that item to talk about how something fits, talk about that, because I'm going to start with my little example. I'm going to give everybody a chance to do a show and tell on how something fits using quedar. So we're going to revisit quedar, finish that up, clean it up from last week. We are also, también vamos a practicar con quedar. We're going to do a little wow word quiz. We're going to do a little interactive game kind of thing, which is fun, on different uses of quedar, where you just pick which verb works best. We'll do that before we do the actual practice, so that kind of gets you warmed up. We'll take questions from the Destinos episodes. And we had a special request, which is a really great thing to do because we have this verb quedar and another verb that has many mysterious meanings and many things that are purely idiomatic is echar. So we have that request from echar. And I thought this is the perfect time to bring that in because we're dealing with some verbs that have like a bunch of different meanings. So Patricia, gracias. Suggestion from Patricia. And actually that was buried into one of the episodes with destinos. So we're going to pull that up. Some of the many uses of quedar. Verbs that have more than one use and may not be obvious. Why do we use them that way? So quedar, echar, those are the two biggies. And we'll take any other questions you've got along the way, of course. Vale, magnífico. Vamos a empezar con algo. We're going to start with something which is not related to grammar really at all, but it's a quick speaking prompt, a very quick speaking prompt. And it is something that you want to think about perhaps in terms of adding some variety to your speaking, adding some variety to your speech. So that es corto. So while this is playing, if you have to go grab your clothing item, it would be the perfect time to do that. Ella va a hablar. And we don't really need a CC, I don't think, on this. Oh, no, dismiss. See, and now I keep getting dismiss things on here. Okay. De nada. Se trata el video aquí, se trata de. It treats of some, it is about. The way we say something is about a topic is to say, se trata de, it's about. Por ejemplo, como por ejemplo, como por ejemplo, ¿sí? Este libro se trata de aprender español. O, por ejemplo, Star Wars se trata de ciencia ficción. O, por ejemplo, Game of Thrones, la serie Game of Thrones se trata de fantasía y la Edad Media. ¿Ok? Se trata de, is about. Este video se trata de nada. Y cómo expresar de nada de muchas maneras. This is about mixing up your way to give a quick retort that will sound supernatural. Ok.
Entonces del español, ¿qué tal? Yo soy Ana. En este video te voy a enseñar otras formas de decir de nada.
Okay. Maybe I will put up subtitles.
Es muy importante que los estudiantes aprendan más maneras de expresarse, porque los hablantes nativos no solamente decimos hola, adiós, gracias.
So, a native speaker will never come at you with just one expression. That's why you want to learn more than one way.
Gracias de nada, sino que hay muchas otras maneras en que nos expresamos. Por eso, siempre en este canal te enseñamos español de la vida real para que tú hables como hablante nativo. Te enseñamos solo las cosas que realmente necesitas saber de español. Así que si eso suena bien, suscríbete a nuestro canal y activa las notificaciones. Vamos a comenzar con el tema de hoy. La primera forma en que puedes decir de nada de otra forma es con las palabras por nada. Por nada.
Por nada es igual a de nada. Por nada, igual. Por nada, de nada, son iguales. Ok.
Entonces, si alguien te dice muchas gracias, tú respondes por nada. La segunda manera es nada que agradecer. Nada que agradecer.
Nada que agradecer, literalmente, nothing to thank for. No need, no reason to give thanks. Okay? Nada de agradecer. Agradecer es el verbo de decir gracias. Agradecer quiere decir, it means to thank. Agradecer. Decir gracias. ¿Ok? Nada de agradecer.
Si tú le compras un café a alguien y ese alguien te dice muchas gracias, tú le dices nada que agradecer.
Nada que agradecer. You see it at the bottom there, and you'll get the link to this video. Nothing to thank me for. Nada que agradecer.
La tercera manera es decir con gusto, con gusto.
Con gusto, qué fácil. Con gusto. With pleasure. Muy lógico, ¿no? Esto es muy lógico. Por nada, muy lógico, muy fácil. Con gusto, muy fácil. Nada que agradecer. Un poquito más difícil. Agradecer es una palabra larga, pero con gusto, pum. Con gusto, pum. Nada más.
Así le estás diciendo a la persona que estás muy feliz de poder ayudarla. La manera número 4 es decir no hay problema.
No hay problema. Y cuidado. There are so many Americans who are using to say no problemo, and it drives me complete. You know, fingernails on the chalkboard. Oh my God, Dios mío. No hay problema. Yeah, no problem. Well, okay, this is pretty close to something we often say, right? Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, no problem. No hay problema.
Pero juntamos las palabras y suena como no hay. No hay problema. De hecho, en slang mexicano, en lugar de problema, puedes decir bronca. No hay bronca.
Bronca, this is, I think, particular to Mexico. Bronca, no hay bronca, will mean the same thing as no hay problema. So just know, you know, it depends on where you're traveling, of course, but bronca is something, no hay bronca, you may hear just in Mexico.
Esto es más informal, pero no es grosero, así que puedes usarlo con prácticamente cualquier persona.
So what she was saying there is that this is a really, really informal, very familiar way to talk to people. And when she said no es grosero, grosero doesn't mean gross. Grosero means rude. It's not like informal as in rude or sloppy, or it's just kind of slangy, that's all.
Entonces, si tú le haces un favor a alguien y te dicen muchas gracias, tú le puedes decir no hay problema o no hay bronca. La quinta manera es decir no hay de qué. Y otra
No hay de qué, no hay de qué, no hay de qué. There is no why. I don't know. It's how you say you're welcome. Es una manera de decir sí. No hay de qué, no hay de qué.
vez juntamos no y hay y no hay. No hay de qué. Esta es la forma corta de no hay de qué agradecer. Es muy largo.
Yeah,
así
no need to thank. There's no reason to thank.
que solamente recuerda no hay de qué. La manera número 6, de hecho, es algo que puedes usar en México y es una forma muy, muy divertida. En lugar de decir no hay de qué, puedes decir no hay de queso, no más de papa. Y esto tiene que ver con comida mexicana porque, bueno, la comida es muy importante para los mexicanos, así que si tú le dices esta expresión a alguien, es como una forma amable y muy chistosa de decir de nada.
So it's just a jokey way of saying that, right? Queso, cheese, and papa, fries, potatoes. I know it has nothing to do with thanking, but it's a jokey way of saying you're welcome.
Y la última opción, la opción número 7, realmente es para agregar énfasis a estas expresiones. La palabra que tú vas a decir es nombre. Sí, nombre, como mi nombre es Ana, esa palabra, pero con una entonación un poco diferente.
So the way you say this is important. You're going to drag out the of nombre, nombre.
Nombre, nombre. Aquí esta palabra no significa nada, solamente es añadir énfasis. Vas a decir esta palabra y después otra de las 6 expresiones que yo te expliqué. Por ejemplo, si tú traes un regalo para alguien y la persona te dice, wow, muchas gracias, tú le puedes decir, no hombre, no hay problema.
Nombre, no hay problema. So we combine the nombre with another another you're welcome phrase, right? We typically nombre will be combined with something else. No, hombre, no hay problema. I think, I'm not sure, this comes from, oh, no, man, no, no, hombre, I think, but I don't really know for sure. Okay, so.
¿Ves? Yo mezclé las dos maneras. Eso es todo por este video. Nos vemos la próxima.
Okay, fantástico. Un poquito divertido, kind of fun, no? It's always good to know different shorty things we can use. And we'll probably get into some of these shorty words too later on in some different contexts. Okay, vale. That should have given folks time to pick up a clothing item. Pretty soon you're going to need that clothing item. We're going to take a quick look at quedar. We're going to dive into quedar as our first half a class kind of activity. And remember that quedar has many, many meanings and many, many uses. So we're going to do a quick review and a quick game on quedar before you're actually asked to produce language with quedar. And we've got quedar and we've got quedarse. And this is just our little cheat sheet with which Juanita kindly pulled together for us. Quedar and quedarse. Quedar can be used to talk about meeting up with people at a particular time, your agreement. Oh, we agree to get together. Quedar can be used to say that something is left over somewhere, because quedar always talks about something existing and taking up space. You know, I don't mind these quedar idioms so much because to me, quedar always creates a mental picture of something taking up space somewhere. And that's why quedar can be used as an equivalent for estar. So, you know, things being left over quedar, things that fit or are suited to someone, to leave an impression. We're not going to really practice that one so much, but that to be located, yeah, that's an important one. And quedarse, when we make it reflexive, it is going to be talking about staying in a place, okay? Yes, can be to be left in a certain condition, and I'm going to tell you, the left in a certain condition is often something that is either really good or really bad. You know, something leaves me astounded. Well, that can be kind of good, right? But something can also leave you being bald, leave you being, yeah, leave you being lame. Something happens to you and it can leave you blind, deaf, whatever. Oh, yeah. So this can be even like the worst on the continuum of worst stuff or the best. Wow, totally leave me astonished. So to be left in a certain condition and to keep something sometimes with quedarse. But we're going to practice the stay part quite a lot. We're going to practice the part about clothing quite a lot. We're going to practice the things that talk about, you know, location, taking up space, having stuff left over. So let's take a quick look. Pueden ver, can you see my quedar and quedarse thing here? I'm going to send you the link for this so that you can kind of play it later because, but notice it says a close activity, and the close activity just means we've got a phrase or word left out. Okay, that's what a close activity is, and that is C-L-O-Z-E. You need to fill in the blank, essentially. A close activity, and you need to drag and drop. So when you do this later on by yourself as a review point, you will not be able to just click and get the answer. You have to click and drag the box into the blank, okay? Para que sepan, so you know. Okay, vale. So we're going to take a quick look. Vamos a empezar. And oh, I don't think you can hear the little music. It will play music for you eventually. But of course, what we mean with quedar always needs context. So here's our context. Mira, ya son las 8. Which one of these is going to make the most sense?
Me queda,
Me queda.
me queda. Sí,
Me quedan, me quedo, me queda.
me
Me
queda,
quedo,
me queda.
me quedo.
Me queda. No me
queda.
queda mucho tiempo. ¿Qué es no me queda mucho tiempo? En inglés, ¿qué significa no me queda mucho tiempo?
Not much time left to me.
Yeah, I haven't got much time left. Not much time is left to, not much time remains
Oh,
for
to be
me.
left. Oh, okay.
Yeah, así es. Okay, so
That's
you
okay.
have to drag it in and then you're going to submit it. Oh, it'll tell you you're right or that you're not. Okay. En un hotel muy costoso con vista al mar.
Me quedo,
Me queda, me quedan, me quedo.
me quedo,
Me quedo.
me
Quedo.
quedo,
Me queda, me quedan, me quedo.
Me quedo.
me quedo,
Me quedo, ¿por qué?
me quedo.
¿Por qué?
Because it's reflexive. You're staying there.
You're staying there. If we're talking about a hotel, we're talking about lodging. So the big vocabulary clue there is, oh, en un hotel. Okay. Unless
So
you're playing
that's the not
Monopoly and you haven't, the only, yeah, unless you're playing Monopoly and you've got hotels left on your board. No, yeah. Okay,
So
see,
is that the
definitely.
non-reflexive version of it?
This one is reflexive because it's indicating I'm staying in a place. And when we
But
talk
me
about
queda-
lodging or staying, it's
But me
quedarse.
queda with the A is also reflexive, isn't it?
Ah, oh, the me queda.
Hmm.
The me queda no es reflexivo. Me queda with an A at the end, the one in green, en verde. ¿Sí?
Mhm.
La opción en verde, ¿verdad? No es reflexivo. That one is not reflexive, even though it's got the word me in there. Because in order for something to be reflexive, it would have to have me with a yo verb.
Or say queda.
Ah, and queda is not a yo form.
because
Queda is
queda.
not a yo form. So this one is not reflexive. And we need a reflexive here because hotel, it has the connotation of lodging. Okay, actually staying in a place. Me quedo en un hotel muy costoso con vista al mar. Bien fantástico. Aquí we've got nos quedamos, quedamos, or nos queda. Okay. Pum, pum, pum. En cenar en el nuevo restaurante. Todos estamos de acuerdo, ¿no?
Nos
Todos están. Everybody is agreed, right? Todos estamos de acuerdo, ¿no?
Nos
¿Cuál
queda-
es?
Nos quedamos.
Should it be nos quedamos, quedamos, or nos queda?
I think just quedamos.
I think quedamos.
Say nos quedamos.
And you think nos quedamos. Okay. Because I heard nos quedamos first, I'm going to pop this in and show you what happens. It tells you not nos quedamos. It
Uh-oh.
is just quedamos. So I wanted to show you where I said, just quedamos. Quedamos en cenar. We agreed to have dinner. Okay. To agree to do something with a group. And the context clue was, estamos de acuerdo. We're all agreed. That was meant to be a clue. Sometimes your clue comes after the fill in the blank by necessity. Okay. Aquí. Esta camisa es enorme. The shirt is huge.
No me queda,
No me
Queda.
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 No me queda. No me queda bien. No me queda bien. No me queda bien. Not reflexive because the shirt is taking up space on me.
Me.
If I said it doesn't fit him, it would be le queda. Okay, again, the me queda is not reflexive. It's just saying it sits on me in this way. It fits me. We would use the verb fits, F-I-T-S, fits. Okay. Bien. Ok, vale. Cuando visitamos a nuestros parientes, relatives, parientes, pum, 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 en su casa, nos quedamos, nos queda o quedamos.
Nos
Mm.
quedamos.
When we
No
visit our,
quedamos.
Nos
Nos quedamos.
Quedamos.
nos quedamos is what I'm hearing. Most of will pop that one in. Ah, bien, sí.
Quedamos.
Reflexivo. We stay at their house. We stay at their house. Again, it's talking about lodging.
Okay.
Okay, we stay at their house.
Oh.
Okay.
You get the meaning.
Quisiera pedir el salmón esta noche. Oh, I would like to order the salmon tonight.
I'm sorry.
And the dash means somebody else is now taking a turn talking. Probably the guy who's serving, taking your order. Ah, lo siento, señor. Era muy popular. It was really popular. Pero ahora no.
Okay.
No queda.
You can either pick
Queda.
queda, se
Queda.
queda, or quedo.
Se
Queda.
Queda. Okay.
Not
No.
quedo.
No queda,
Queda.
no queda salmon. No salmon's left over. And somebody may say no queda salmon, no salmon is left. Or they might choose to put a no me queda or a no nos queda. They may choose to leave that out. They may choose to include the pronoun depende. Kind of depends, okay? But there we're saying what is left in stock, essentially. Even though, you know, we don't talk about stock in a store, but, you know, what is left over in the kitchen in this case. Okay. Acabo de, Federico, acabo de gastar. Acabo de gastar casi todo mi dinero. I just spent almost all my money.
Recuerden. Recuerden.
Me quedo, me quedan, or quedo.
Recuerden.
queda.
Recuerden.
Quedan, because it's
Me
cinco.
quedan solo $5. Yeah. $5, only $5 remain to me. Okay. Mi esposo recibió los nuevos zapatos de Amazon. Amazon, nuevos zapatos. Recibió, recibe, ahora no, recibió ayer, ¿verdad? Mi esposo recibió los nuevos zapatos de Amazon, pero el número is what we use for shoe size generally. El número es incorrecto. Estos zapatos, either, and remember, we're talking about who is the person who got the shoes. Se quedan or le queda. Muy apretados.
Mi esposo. So
Recuerden.
le
Recuerden. Recuerden.
queda.
Recuerden.
Le quedan.
I think
Y
it's queda.
le queda or le quedan?
Le queda.
Oh, well, I guess it's plural, shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes are plural.
Recuerden.
Le quedan. Le tells who they are fitting tight. Apretados. Bien. Vale, bueno, dos más. El vendedor no puede ofrecer muchos carros porque muy pocos modelos disponibles. Disponibles, available. He can't offer very many cars because
There's only
not a lot of models available.
oh,
El
Le
vendedor.
queda, se quedan, le quedan.
I think
Le
it's queda.
quedan.
recuerden.
What's the thing left over?
Cars. This
Car.
Cars.
carros.
Okay, and we're not talking about lodgings, so it cannot be se quedan, right? You're
Right.
left with one of these
Right.
two options here. Y
Queda.
modelos
Right.
disponibles.
Queda.
Le-
Modelos disponibles. And we hit our submit button. We find out that is right. Okay. Y después de comer toda la comida, no.
Why wouldn't that be less, the last one, less?
Because vendedor, the guy who's selling it.
Oh, that's
Ah,
what you're referring to. Okay. Mhm.
eso es, sí.
After eating all the food,
Ok. Bien. Después de comer toda la comida, no nada.
no queda.
Queda.
I know queda.
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 It's not talking about lodging, so we automatically have to throw out me quedo. We're left with these two. And nada, pues sí, singular, ¿verdad? Singular. Bien, fantástico. And when you play this again later on to kind of quiz yourself, it'll give you the score. We purposely did one wrong to see what it would look like. And it will let you start again. It'll let you start over. So if you messed up a bunch because you know your brain was just going kind of brain fart, you can start all over again, right? And see if you can improve your score. Bien, ¿vale? Okay, bien. That is our warm up. We're going to very, very soon be starting on our 6 hasta 10, our 6 through 10 items. Y voy a empezar. I asked you to bring in a show and tell. I hope some people showed something in clothing, algo de la ropa, ¿sí? And using quedar with how things fit. And usually with clothing items, it's either going to be one item you're talking about, right? Or something plural. You know, in the case of this thing here is a plural thing. So even though it's one item, because audífonos es plural, I would have to say, me quedan muy cómodos estos audífonos, right? Pero no voy a hablar de audífonos. And the reason that this is plural, even though it's one thing, is because it's for your 2 ears. Okay, como, sí, como lentes, plural, porque tenemos 2 ojos, 2 orejas, 2 oídos y solamente una boca, una nariz. Bien, ok, vale, voy a hablar. Estos son mis zapatos favoritos. Son mis zapatos favoritos primero porque son rojos y me encanta. El rojo es mi color favorito. El rojo es mi color favorito. Pero sí. De verdad, me encantan estos zapatos porque son tan cómodos. Y estos zapatos, aquí en el orden correcto, esos zapatos son de la marca. La marca es Ultra. La marca dice Ultra. No son zapatos de Nike, no son zapatos de Adidas, no son zapatos de Salomon, no. Son zapatos de Ultra y me quedan perfecto, me quedan muy bien, me quedan muy cómodos porque son zapatos muy anchos. No son zapatos estrechos, son anchos. ¿Entienden?
Sí.
Tengo pies grandísimos. Tengo pies muy anchos. Tengo pies como un payaso, like a clown. Sí, saben, sí. Esa broma de clown feet son los pies míos, ¿ok? Y entonces, pero es muy importante porque camino muchísimo, porque doy muchas caminatas en el desierto. Es importantísimo tener zapatos súper cómodos, ¿verdad? Y son muy anchos. Me quedan perfectos, me quedan muy bien, me quedan muy bien. Ok. Ustedes. Un artículo de ropa. ¿Alguien? Somebody get a clothing item? ¿Algo? Sí. Susana.
Oh, cool.
Un sombrero. And I think you need to take yourself off of mute.
Marilyn, can you put the screen on? I'm only mostly seeing the prompt.
Oh, perdón.
Yeah, that's what I see.
Gracias. Okay.
There, thank you.
Mejor. Gracias. Gracias, Patricia. Okay. Susana, otra vez. Make sure you're off the mute.
Okay, I think I'm off now.
Perfecto.
Este sombrero me queda, pero no me gusta.
Oh,
La
¿por qué no?
ala, the rim, es demasiado grande, flexible.
Entiendo.
En fin,
Es muy bonito.
Oh,
Es
bonito.
lindo, es un sombrero muy lindo. Pero entiendo, sí. Gracias. Ok. ¿Quién más? Kathleen, ¿tienes algo también?
Am I the only Kathleen?
Sí, sí, sí.
Yo?
Sí.
Ok. Esta es mi sudadera favorito. Me gusta mucho, especialmente con pantalones de chandal, sweatpants. La sudadera me queda perfectamente. Las mangas
Oh, las mangas.
no son demasiado largas y no hace demasiado calor. Además, me gusta el color gris.
El gris es el color favorito de mi hija, que es artista. ¿Cómo puede ser que a un artista le gusta el gris siempre? Sí, no sé, que pinta con colores, pero gris. Ok. Bueno, sí, es muy importante tener un sudador o una sudadora que le queda bien. Sí. Me gusta, fantástico, gracias. Bueno, sí, Susana.
question, how do you say sweatshirt in Spanish? Can you write it or we can?
Kathleen, otra vez, sí.
Sudadera.
Sudadera. Y voy a escribirlo aquí. Ok. Sudar, el verbo, sudar es to sweat.
Oh.
Sudadera. Okay. A
Yes,
shirt that you
gracias.
sweat in because you're exercising. Okay.
Then why are sweatpants pantalones de chandal?
Sí, pero bueno, pantalones hay varios términos. There are a lot of terms that will be used for pantalones de yoga, pantalones de ejercicio, leggings, es así. Okay. So
Yeah.
there'll be a lot of borrowed words with things like that, porque son populares, because they're popular and they're young and they're hip, and there'll be a lot of borrowed words and things like that. Okay, vale, ¿quién más? Who else has got clothing? Vale, Ashley, dinos algo, tell us something.
Este es mi panuelo.
Mejor, better. Okay.
Oh, no.
El pobre.
Okay. Un momento.
See it.
Lo mismo pasa con mi green screen a veces.
Sí, okay.
Mejor, okay. Ahora, sí. Bien claro. Nice and clear.
No sé. Un momento, por favor. Necesito un
No podemos ver.
papel. Okay. Este es mi panuelo. La imagen es una mapa de Sequoia y Kings Canyon National Park. La me queda bien. Tiene más funciones. Lo uso para en el cuello.
Sí.
¿Sí? O en el cabello.
En el cabello, sí, el cabello on your hair. Sí, sí, sí.
Hay muchas formas de doblarlo. Nunca se pone apretado si como demasiado. It doesn't get tight when I eat too much.
Es fácil de cambiar cómo te queda. Easy to change how it fits on you, ¿no? Sí,
Exacto.
exacto, exacto. Y es un recuerdo de un parque nacional. Además,
Sí.
es recuerdo con el mapa del parque nacional. Fantástico. Me gusta muchísimo. Vale, bueno, ¿quién más? ¿Quién más? ¿Quién tiene buena? Sí, a ver, Patricia, then we'll take Karen.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can you see?
Sí, 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 podemos. Sí,
Chaqueta?
Sí, es mi nueva chaqueta negra. Me
es
gusta,
nueva.
me gusta el colchado, the quilting, el colchado, y los bolsillos con camilleras.
Ah,
I don't know if I can.
cremallera zippers, sí.
Zippers, so pockets, that's why I bought. Okay.
Cremallera, sí.
La compré en Costco. No puedo probarla hasta regrese a mi casa.
Ah,
Me queda bien y estoy muy feliz.
bien.
So that's my new
No,
jacket.
¿no hay cuartitos de probar ropa en Costco?
No, you can't try it on. And it was like the zipper had the hook of the tag on it, so you couldn't like
Oh,
pull it up and down. They
No
do
se
that.
puede cerrar ni
People don't
abrir.
walk out with it on.
Ok, vale.
I was surprised. It just fit perfectly. And it's very lightweight.
Bueno, una chaqueta, sí.
It's on sale now.
Excelente, excelente. Chaqueta para el invierno, ¿no?
Well,
Chaqueta.
not too cold. Not Wisconsin.
No, pero
En
aquí,
Arizona.
invierno aquí.
Sí,
Sí,
sí.
vale, magnífico. A ver, bueno. Karen, dinos algo.
hey. Tengo una camiseta. Can you see it? Que, well,
It's a cactus.
Cactomania.
Hectomania.
Oh,
Una camiseta que no me queda bien.
¿Por qué no?
La mayoría de las camisetas están hechos para hombres y no me queda bien. El tamaño grande es frecuentemente demasiado ancho y largo y tan grande que se ven descuidado, they look sloppy. Okay. Pero el tamaño mediano muy a menudo es demasiado delgado en las calderas. Además de eso, sí.
Caderas.
Usualmente la decoración es demasiado bajo en la pecho.
Bien.
Las camisetas que están cortadas para mujeres me quedan mucho mejor.
Muchas veces este problema ocurre cuando se venden las camisetas de talla unisexo. ¿Sí?
Unisex means men. Means it's made for men.
Sí, entiendo, sí. Creo que sí. Tristemente. Bueno, a ver. Ok. ¿Alguien más? Anybody else? ¿Alguien más? Bueno, Juanita.
Okay. Mis gafas rojas de leer me queda bien. Yo veo las palabras muy bien con gafas. Con mis
Okay.
gafas.
Te quedan bien. And there with gafas, you need quedan, right?
Oh, me quedan. See, I took them
Quedan.
off and
¿Y
I
por
couldn't
qué?
see.
Es curioso, ¿no? Porque lentes, glasses
Sí.
o gafas, sí, depende de la región. Lentes, son gafas. Aunque es una cosa, es curioso que se usa el término en plural. Las gafas o los lentes. Entonces me quedan.
Me quedan. Sí,
Me quedan.
bien.
Lentes son como pantalones. Los pantalones me quedan grandes. The pants fit me big. Sí, bien. With quedar and clothing, quite often you can keep it quite simple. It'll always be le queda for a singular, and I'm putting this in the chat box so you can see it to the side. Le queda for one thing, but if you've got something plural like shoes, like pants, right, then it will be le quedan or me quedan, or, you know, whoever you're talking about that it fits, right? But if it's a plural thing, shoes, socks, calcetines, right? Lentes o gafas. So, you know, some of these things are going to be plural, but a lot of them are singular. Entonces, depende un poquito. But the most frequently used terms would be, and I'll put this in a me term, me queda bien, fits me well. Me queda mal, it does not fit. Those are the most generic terms for clothing, right? Me queda bien, me queda mal. But we can get more specific. We can say, podemos ver, me queda grande. Me queda grande. It's too big on me.
Big, okay.
Right? See, if something is too small, quite often you can use pequeño, but a really frequent word to use instead of pequeño is apretado, especially if you're talking shirt or pants, because apretar means kind of squeezed close. So think, ladies, of that sausage outfit, right? Do we all not have something in the closet that you put it on and then you feel like, I feel like a sausage, right? So think about that. Me queda apretado or apretada. Me quedo apretado. If it's a masculine thing, me quedo. Oh, I'm sorry, when my I didn't get my at the end of that. Me queda apretada. Apretada would be the feminine form. Apretada, see? If it's a feminine thing. So it depends on the item. Camiseta, pantalones, blusa, lo que sea, whatever it may be, right? Bien, vale. Falda, vestido, dress, traje, suit. El traje, suit, bien. El traje me queda apretado. It fits me tight. It fits too tight. Something is small, too small. Ok, fantástico, bien. Vale, hay más. Any others? Bien, ok, bueno, Kathy y Kathleen y Fred. Federico, let me get you first so I don't forget about you, because you're in my upper corner, so I'm gonna go. Okay, Federico.
I've always wanted to be in your upper corner.
You are in my upper corner.
Okay, so
Botas, boots.
Botas, sí, ok. Son mis botas de montaña. Me quedan muy bien. He usado estas botas en el desierto y las montañas y el campo en muchos lugares por muchos años con Juanita, con mi hija, con mi hijo,
Con tu hijo.
con mis amigos, todas personas.
Fantástico. Perfecto. Perfecto, Federico. Muy bien. Bien hecho. Well done. Bien hecho. Fantástico. Okay. Bien. And then we're going to have Kathy and Kathleen. Let's start with Kathy and then we'll have Kathleen.
Esta blusa es una favorita por me. Well, anyway. Quiero esta blusa, pero no me queda bien. Es demasiado grande. Y me hace parecer gorda.
Ay, pero muy cómoda, me imagino, ¿bien? ¿Sí? Comfortable,
Muy
cómoda,
muy.
fantástico, excelente, muy bien, Kathleen.
Hola.
Zapatos grises.
Mis zapatos de correr me quedan bien. Estos zapatos son anchos, cerca de los dedos. Necesito porque tengo juanetes. Bunions. Ellos son muy cómodos para mí. También ellos tienen tacón bajo.
Igual,
Sí.
lo mismo.
Mis Ultra. La marca es Ultra. Me gustan ellos.
Excelente, sí. Esta marca es un tipo de zapato que se dice en inglés zero drop, ¿sí?
Sí.
No hay, sí, son fantásticos. Ok, vale.
De acuerdo.
Sí, bien hecho, excelente. ¿Alguien más? Anybody else got a clothing item to share?
I got one.
Gracias. Bueno, Isabel, Elizabeth, dinos algo. Tell us something.
Esta blusa me queda mal. Las mangas son demasiado largas para mis brazos cortos.
Es difícil. Cuando tienes brazos más cortos, sí. Muchas veces las mangas son muy largas.
Yes, sí.
Entiendo, sí. Ok. Bueno, ¿saben ustedes cómo se dice plaid? Plaid.
I don't know how to say that, but yes.
Van a saber,
Caliente.
van a aprender. Sí, una camisa de rayas. De rayas, sí. Perdón, no, rayas stripes, perdón.
No,
De cuadras.
Oh, Marilyn, no sound.
Marilyn, your audio disappeared.
Oh, a ver. Oh, I
can't
just
hear
got an
you.
unstable
All gone.
message. You cannot hear me?
No here.
No.
Ay, a ver. I'm not even on mute. Okay. Voy a escribir a máquina. Wow, I'm hoping that clears up here.
No,
De cuadras. De cuadras plaid.
Not really. De cuadras.
Pueden ver. En chat box, ¿sí? Bien, de cuadras quiere decir plaid, sí. ¿Pueden oírme, sí? Can you hear
We
me now?
hear you.
Bien, ok.
Yes, sí.
Estoy hablando como, no sé, ok, como para sordos, like for deaf people, but I don't mean to do that, but yeah. Okay, de cuadras, cuadras. Sí, rayos or rayas would be striped, but de cuadras would be plaid. Okay, vale. I'm going to send you off now into chat rooms. We're going to take a look at, I'm going to put on the share box here. Now is the time when you're going to need the rest of your things. And you've already talked about clothing that fits. So really, you've only got 6, 7, 8, 9, cuatro cosas, ¿verdad? Vamos a ver, van a empezar con 6, 7, 8 y 9. Cuando visito a mi hermano o mi hermana, talk about how long you stay, right? When I visit my brother or my sister, talk about how long you stay, or whatever relative, if you don't have a brother or sister. Número 7, talk about where you stay when you travel out of state, okay? Número 8, talk about a place being close to your house. Do not use está. Do not use está. Use your other word there. Okay. Y 9, talk about a place that is far from your house. Okay. These are going to be kind of easy. Cuando hablamos con 6, are we going to need quedar or quedarse para número 6? Which structure?
6, quedarse.
Quedarse. You need the reflexive. Okay, you need the reflexive. Número 6, number 6, you need the reflexive. La forma reflexiva, quedarse. Bueno, 7, where you stay when you're out of state. Otra vez, quedarse.
Yeah.
Igual, quedarse, because you're talking about lodging. Okay, ¿está bien? Número 8, a place being close, just going to use
Quedar.
quedar, no pronoun, just queda or quedan if it's more than one, but it's probably going to be a queda. Bien. Número 9, talk about a place that is far from you. Again, it is going to be just
Quedar.
queda. Bien. Our substitute for estar. Bien. Es vamos a sustituir. We're going to substitute. Vamos a sustituir. Ok, vamos a ver cuántos están aquí. Bien, necesitamos quizás 4. I think we need about 4 rooms. I'm going to move a little bit about here. Quizás no. Quizás sí. A ver, okay. A ver, bueno, here we're going to open this up. I'm going to give you maybe a good 7 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutos, 10 minutos. 10 minutos. You need to hit your join button. Excelente. Hola, Ashley. Ashley, me gusta tu
Hola.
foto. Me
Oh,
gusta.
gracias. Es un stock de Zoom.
Oh, no es foto tuya.
Ah, no sé now. I
Pero
don't know.
no,
Now I'm
no,
rethinking.
tú no tomaste la foto.
No.
No, es foto profesional. Bien,
Sí.
ok,
Es un
vale.
stock photo.
Ah, sí,
Me
eso es.
gusta stock más que mis fotografías.
Es más fácil, ¿no? Es más fácil.
Sí,
No,
es
no hay que buscar por todas partes. Aquí me gusta esta foto. Pum. La pongo. Ok, bien.
Exacto.
Did the Zoom allow you to look at the prompts while you were in the breakout rooms?
No.
Well, we
Ow.
did try.
I keep
didn't
trying
try.
that.
I
I
did
keep
try.
trying that.
Well,
And
yeah, I don't think we tried. We
I
didn't.
didn't try. I had it.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
okay, it should be doing that. Well, I am going to have a good talk with them. Okay. You guys keep telling me this feature works, and
How do you do it?
they keep
If you
telling
had-
me, well, no, you don't. You shouldn't have to do anything. I
Oh.
asked it to share an screen with you. Now I know it's not working.
I
And
didn't.
then they always tell me, oh,
You see it?
your people have to update their Zoom. It's like, I think their Zoom's updated. Okay.
You're-
Bueno, vamos a conversar un poquito. Ok, ¿hay alguna pregunta sobre esto o no?
No, we did okay, I think.
No.
Ok, ¿es más
finished.
fácil esta semana? A little easier this week? Sí. Un poquito más. Ok, con la práctica es cada vez más fácil y más fácil, después de practicar. Bien, ok. Voy a preguntarles entonces. I'm going to ask you guys, because I know there was one question we had, which I am kind of saving in my back pocket, but I do want to ask if you had, perdón, ¿tienen ustedes alguna pregunta sobre, do you have any questions about this episode, este episodio? I know there was one about echar de menos, which we are going to pick up really, really soon. This is getting into the summary phase of the end of the series, and in the next few videos, all they're going to do is really pick up and say, we're going back to the beginning and we're summing everything up. So for those of you who have never seen anything with this series, this part of Destinos is the part that really picks up of, here's how the basic story rolled out from the start. Okay, they're going way back to the beginning. ¿Hay alguna pregunta o no? Es un repaso. This is all reviews, so I don't think there's going to be too much new there. Okay, no?
One question.
Okay.
At the beginning, when Raquel is looking for Senora Suarez and she finds the family, and the woman is talking to somebody else, and that woman says, "Yo me marcho."
Oh,
I
sí,
looked that up.
me marcho. Muy común, me marcho. Me marcho. Me marcho sounds like,
Yes.
yeah, it is that. Me marcho is I'm taking off. I'm going, I'm leaving, I'm taking off. Marcharse. Marcharse is to take off, to go off. It's kind of like irse. It's quite a lot like irse. Me marcho. Me marcho, it sounds like march, and it basically kind of is that. It means somebody is leaving. Eso es buena pregunta. That's something we don't use a lot. Yeah, well, you do hear it, pero depende, depends. You hear it quite a lot in Spain. You hear it quite a bit in Mexico too. You can hear it anywhere. Me marcho. I'm leaving. Okay. Bien? Bien. ¿Algo más? Any other questions? Probably not as many questions because they're starting to tie the loose ends together poco a poco. I'll give you the next episode, el próximo episodio. I do want to talk about something. I'm putting this in the chat box. Echar de menos. The question had come up actually in the episode previous to this. One of the kids, it was either Angela or Roberto, somebody had asked, echo de menos. Echo de menos means I miss. There are actually two verbs that are frequently used for miss and not, oh, how confusing is English? This is not the kind of miss of he missed the target, he missed the bus, he missed his plane. It is not that kind of miss. It is the kind of miss of, wow, I miss my best friend because he doesn't live here. Oh, gee, I miss my kids now that they're not living at home anymore. I miss that dog. I love that dog so much. I miss him. Okay, it's that kind of miss. Echar de menos is to miss a thing or a person or an animal, un animal, una mascota, a pet. Okay, to miss somebody generally. It could be to miss a thing if you were talking about your favorite thing, but it's kind of a curious use of echar. So this is a good question because quedar has many curious uses, and we want to take the next week to talk about some curious uses of echar. Echar es, this is echar, guys. Literally, this is echar. That's what echar means. It means to throw something. So oddly enough, echar can mean to toss something in the trash. Use echar. But echar is used many, many, many times when it does not literally mean throw. Not literally. Figuratively, it could in this sense. You've probably read somewhere in literature, in English, in Inglés, when they use an idea like, he cast a glance this way, yeah? And cast is kind of like echar. So think of echar in that way, as in the idea of cast. Echar is combined with many other words in idiomatic phrases. And so echar, oddly enough, winds up being quite common, but used not really in slang. It wouldn't be correct to say that it's slang. It's used in many idiomatic phrases where you cannot translate it word for word, or it will just sound like, what the heck do they mean by that? I'm going to show you a couple of examples, and we're going to list now. Actually, I will be sending you. I'm going to pick this one. I'm going to show you. If you talk about using the word echar, which is very common in Spanish, look at how many of these there are. Oh,
how would we ever know?
Dios
okay.
mío.
Now, I'm going to send you the link to this because it's already in a nice boxy chart format.
Good.
That's great. But
Okay.
notice how it's split up. Frases comunes, common phrases. That means you'll hear these a lot. And frases no tan comunes. So these are things that maybe you might read in a book. Echar is used with so many different words. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the frases no tan comunes, and I would say, I wouldn't know. No son tan comunes. You can pretty much ignore those.
Oh.
You can even ignore some of the frases comunes. Do you really? So, okay, look, I know people get,
Russell.
are you really going to use that? No. So here's what happens. When I give you these lists, there's another list, and I'll read the other one and see if it actually is more helpful. I'll send you one of them. I know a lot of people like a chart that looks like an actual honest to God chart, and the other one is not set up in that same way, but it may be more useful. So here's the thing. Oh my God, I had a poor person who once misconstrued and like thought that they had to memorize every single thing I sent out. No. You pick and choose the things that I would use that. That's what you want to use, okay? And we're gonna watch a couple of videos. We're gonna watch a couple of videos. Echar is used in a lot of things. Actually, it's also used, I am just gonna say, it is used when people talk about passing gas. You're probably not going to actually use that, but
Oh, yeah, she will.
we all do that from time to time. However, these are going to be, these two videos condense it pretty nicely into some really common things. So I do want to take a look at these with you today. And you'll get some prompts tomorrow that we'll use next week, okay? To actually practice using these. A ver, bueno, vamos a empezar aquí.
¿Qué tal? Soy Paula, the Speak Spanish with Paula. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the notification bell. Today we're learning 3 idiomatic expressions with the verb echar. Echar is a regular AR verb. Yo echo, tú echas, él, ella, usted echa, nosotros, nosotras echamos, vosotros echáis, ellos, ellas, ustedes echan.
Echar is regular in every single tense. That part is not hard, okay? No es difícil.
And it means to throw. Like when we say, echa la basura en la canasta. Echa la basura en la canasta.
Throw the trash in the basket. Yes, you can flat out use echar to mean you toss something. Okay? Bien.
Throw the trash in the basket. But as usual, we are not talking about literal meanings because we are learning 3 idiomatic expressions in Spanish with this verb. And you can't translate it word by word and expect to make sense because it doesn't. All right? The first one, echar de menos. Echar de menos. It's only used for expressing feelings, the feeling of lackness, that something is missing. When someone echa de menos someone else, it means that person means someone. It's another way to say extrañar. So
the other verb that means the same thing as echar de menos is a one single word verb, and that's extrañar. So you'll get the link to this video to watch it again. Extrañar means the exact same thing as echar de menos. But extrañar is a very long verb and echar is a very short verb. And it's always de menos, de menos, de menos, echar de menos. And no matter who misses somebody, it's always de menos. Yeah. think of de menos as minus sign, because that's what it is. You're missing that person, right? You're missing them. They are not there. They're a minus sign. They are not present physically.
Echo de menos.
Te echo de menos. You, I miss. But we say in English, I miss you. Te echo de menos. Te echo de menos.
It's the same of saying te extraño.
And te extraño is just a different way of saying that, but it means the same thing. They're exactly interchangeable.
It's not only used for people, but also for things. I could say, echo de menos la comida de mi mamá. Echo de menos la comida de mi mamá. Echo de menos dormir hasta tarde. Echo de menos dormir hasta tarde. Or maybe you were on a diet for 2 months and you could say, echaba in the past de menos comer pizza.
I really missed eating pizza. Yeah. But echaba, because it was like over a whole 2 months, it was like a long period of time. Every day I couldn't have pizza. So echaba de menos, echaba regular, echaba, I missed.
Today I could say, echo de menos el verano. Echo de menos el verano. It's winter here and the days are just dark, cloudy, rainy, and depressing. So surely I could say, echo de menos el verano. What's something that you echas de menos? Cuéntame algo que tú echas de menos. Let me know in the comments below. The second one, echar los perros. Echar.
This one out of a whole one is maybe less applicable unless you're 20 something.
Los perros. This one is a little bit more slang, but
And I know, throw the dogs. It's not at all what you think it's going to
not
be.
vulgar, right? So
It's
don't
not
worry
vulgar.
about it. I'm not going to teach you something vulgar here, okay? So, echar los perros means to flirt when someone does things that another person likes in order to attract her or him to finally have a romantic relationship. So, echar los perros, it's basically to seduce someone. Seducir.
Seduce is kind of strong. It's like flirt, yeah. It's saying every sweet little thing you can to try to entice somebody to go out with you. That's what it is. Okay, so seduce is kind of strong, just saying.
A alguien. Conquistar
Just to interest
a alguien.
somebody.
Conquer
Let's imagine you like Ana. You could say, le voy a echar los perros a Ana. Le voy a
Now wow, throwing dogs at somebody, you wouldn't really think of as something romantic, but
echar los perros a Ana.
Say, go to the
And Ana could say, él me está echando los perros. Él me está echando los perros. Or maybe you're married or you don't like that person, you could say, no me eches los perros.
don't quit flirting. I'm married.
Estoy casada. No me eches los perros. No me gustas.
I don't like you. Don't flirt
No
with me.
me eches los perros. No me interesa.
So yes, if you're in the 20-something category, maybe you want to know, you want to put somebody off because they're like annoying you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay? Or maybe he's a Casanova. You could say, él le echa los perros a todas. Él
He
le
flirts with
echa
everybody.
los perros a todas. You could use it also in the past. Él me echó los perros el año pasado. Él me echó los perros el año pasado. Él me echó los perros hasta que acepté ser su novia. Él me echó los perros hasta que acepté ser su novia. As a question would be, ¿te está echando los perros? In the present progressive, ¿te está echando los perros? Or in the past, ¿te echó los perros? ¿Te echó los perros? And in the future, ¿le vas a echar los perros? ¿Le vas a echar los perros? And finally, the third one, echar una mano.
Muy útil. This one is super useful. Throw a hand. We say, give me a hand. This one is a little bit closer to what you think it would mean. Echar una mano. It means pitching in, giving somebody a hand, helping out. Muy
Echar
útil.
una mano, meaning to help or assist someone for a short period of time because that person is going through some difficulty or is struggling with something. Let's say you are struggling with your Spanish homework and your best friend speaks Spanish. You could say, ¿me echas una mano con mis deberes? ¿Me echas una mano con mis deberes? ¿Me puedes echar una mano con mis deberes?
Could you help me with, could you give me a hand with the chores? So this could be as simple as, you know, you need help. You've got 5 packages and you can't handle all of them. And you want somebody to help pick up packages and put them in your car. As simple as that, okay? Me echa una mano. Could you lend me a hand? And when if you're loading things in your car or, you know, taxi or whatever, they're going to understand, oh, look at all that stuff you've got lined up. Of course. Okay.
Another word for deberes is tareas. Los deberes or las tareas. ¿Me puedes echar una mano con mi tarea? ¿Me puedes echar una mano con las tareas? Okay? Or let's say you are moving out and it's so hard to do it by yourself. So you could ask a friend, ¿me puedes echar una mano con la mudanza? ¿Me echas una mano con la mudanza? And afterwards you could say, gracias por echarme una mano.
Thanks for giving me a hand. Okay, it's the same thing as gracias por ayudar. Ayudar is to help. Echar una mano, lend a hand. Pitch in.
Con la mudanza. Gracias por echarme una mano. Notice we always use the preposition con after the phrase echar una mano. ¿Me puedes echar una mano con los deberes? ¿Me echas?
We do that in English. Give me a hand with this. Yeah. So this one really dovetails beautifully.
Una mano con la tarea. ¿Me echas una mano con la mudanza? ¿Me puedes echar una mano con el perro? And so on and so forth. That's it for today. If you liked it.
Okay. Vale, magnífico. I'm going to send you the next one because it's going to be too long to go through the whole thing, 8 minutos. But I'm going to just
Mis amores, ¿qué tal?
preview
¿Cómo
which
están? Bienvenidos a un
which ones they will be. So you've got an idea. And the thing I really, really like that she basically tells you don't translate this because it doesn't make sense.
Obvio.
There are going to be 3 more.
Idiomática del día de hoy es echar.
Echar un ojo. Throw an eye. It means take a look.
Oh.
That makes
Cast
sense.
your eyes over here. Yeah.
Cast your eyes up. Yes. Now, I'm gonna preview this. Sometimes it is said as echar un ojo. Sometimes it's expressed as echar un vistazo. Vistazo. Like vista, sight. Vista, right? Vistazo is take a look. Same thing. Vistazo is exactly equivalent with un ojo. But hey, take a look. So maybe you need help with, you can't figure out something about a ticket that you've got, right? Take a look at this. You're going to get some prompts to use this with. Echar un ojo.
Lo que quiero decir es
Okay,
echar
next one maybe
leña
not
al
as useful because it means you've got probably a confrontation brewing. Echar leña al fuego. literally throw wood on the fire. And this is said when somebody is going to say something that's going to make the situation go. Yeah, it's going to make the situation worse. Don't make it worse. What do we do? Throw, yeah, like
Gasoline on the fire?
gasoline on the fire. Yeah, we do more of that. So I'm probably going to insert maybe an extra one because, you know, you may not really need that so much, but here's
Y
one
la
last
última
one she
expresión
does.
de hoy es echar la culpa.
Muy importante, echar la culpa.
Guilty?
La culpa es blame. Echar la culpa is to throw the blame, and it means you're blaming somebody. We just have the word blame. When someone is culpable, we have, anytime you got a Spanish word, not anytime, a lot of times when you got a Spanish word, we have a highfalutin English word that came from Latin, culpable. Yeah, legally, you are responsible if you are culpable. You are responsible, you are to blame, it's on you, right? So, echar la culpa. Esto sí es importante. This one is important. I'm probably going to find another one I can throw in the mix here, but you'll get that all in the email. Echar la culpa, to blame somebody. So when you've got more time this week, you can watch this nice 8-minute video. Okay? Vale? Bien?
Sí.
Bien?
Sí, sí.
Good with that. I'm going to give you some prompts. We're going to use echar in a lot of situations. I'll ask you to talk about people you blame, people who blame you, things you miss, people you miss, people who miss you. We're going to use a lot of echar. We're probably going to not use the fart one, although it's always helpful. Echar un pedo. I can't resist this. I'm just going to put it in the chat box. Echar un pedo. A pedo is a fart. And this, you know, teenagers will yell this at each other. Oh, who farted in here? Yeah, as you know, kids in a classroom will say that, right? Somebody stuck in an elevator with some gross person. ¿Quién echó un pedo? Okay, so pedo looks a lot like pedir, doesn't it? That's why it's really important to know that pedir is a stem-changing word. And we always want to say pido, I ask for, not pedo, a fart. When you 15-year-olds never forget how to conjugate pedir, because they don't. I tell them, you look at the waiter, you say, pedo un camarón, fart a shrimp. No, you want to order shrimp. You want to order a beer. You're not farting out beer. And then they always remember to say pido, pido, pido. I'm ordering. Yeah. I'm asking for. Yeah. Okay. I won't put that in the prompts, but just that's a fun fact. It's a fun, you can't resist it. Okay. Echar un pedo is that. Bien, ¿vale?
Sí.
Okay. Entonces nos vemos el miércoles. If you have not yet signed up for the November, December session, you'll want to maybe ponder that. Just a little friendly reminder on that, because some people, when they sign up for fall, don't realize that fall falls into 2 separate registrations. It's that goofy thing. So just keep that in mind if you want to have classes rolling through November and December, and you that online. Ok, vale, magnífico. Echar y muchas formas de echar para practicar la semana que viene, ¿verdad? Y un poquito más de destinos. Y eso es, ¿ok? ¿Vale?
Sí.
Magnífico. Entonces nos vemos. If other things come up that you want me, burning question for next week, make sure you send it in email and always include some stuff for that, okay? Vale, ¿todo bien?
Sí.
All good, todo bien. Fantástico.
Gracias.
Nos vemos más tarde. Buena